Welcome to an early session at the Dutchman's Wood Shack. Okay, so I wanted to show you how this piece I was working on. I put one coat on here, and basically this is what this is. It's about 2 inches deep, maybe 2¼ inches deep. And because it's got a lot of nice grain to it, I didn't feel like, you know, I thought this would be the perfect thing for an oddball shaped type of piece of wood. And no, I'm not going to carve on it or anything. Now I put a good thick coat of osmos on there. Okay, so here's the problem with this stuff. Okay, so water repellent and wear resistant, will not crack, flake, peel, or blister. Now this stuff that I'm using is food safe and oil wax combination. So yeah, because I do a lot of stuff where people are using it. So um, thing is, I can't read what the instructions are. 8 to 10 hours for drying time. So apply. Okay, so a lot of guys tend to use cloth on this, and we'll see. Um, I use paper towels. Well, I'm probably going to use this, but you can use a brush if you want. It's kind of like I said the other day, day before yesterday, I guess, is that it's like a gel. It's a wipe on gel. So yeah, I like wipe on gels when they're staining. Um, but put some more on here. The only problem with gels is when they come in containers like this, you can't really mix them. And I'm finding out that the particles in it kind of coagulate. And I'm not really sold on gels. Like my favorite so far has still been Midwax. And unfortunately, a lot of guys like to go the other way, but a paste type of thing to me doesn't cut it because the stuff, if it's sitting around for a while, doesn't do you any good. So, anyway, let's see what we got here. And what's cool about this though, that you can wipe it off real easy. Now I have some other finishes I use, like I have some friction polish that I can use, but this on this type of bowl I won't use that on here. Like my lands. I don't know if any of you guys out there in the woodworking world ever use my lands, but it's kind of a touchy thing. I've used it a lot in the past, and it depends on the wood that you're doing. When you're doing rough stuff like this with bark on it or not bark, whatever, it's not really good. So um, the one thing I can tell you is I prefer, like I said, I like to brush stuff on and then wipe it off real quick. The only downfall about using a brush on stuff is you got to be careful of runs and streaking. I mean, that's a common occurrence, especially with stuff that's really, what do you call it? Uh, Thin, watery. So anyway, this is what I do. You know, I'll probably do after this coat. This is the second coat. Is I'll probably sand it. You know, a little buffing actually might work better, but it's I like the bowl. See, when it's shiny, it's actually pretty nice looking. So I'm gonna go sit this. I'm gonna go to sit this in the drying room. Wait a minute, I see something here. Yeah, we're good there. I'm gonna go set this in the drying room. Okay, so that's that for now. Okay, so the other thing is, to me, oops, safety wise. Okay, take this off. There's a thing called this. Now, I have a fire extinguisher right there, and I also have this. Because you're working in a dusty environment, you gotta be careful. So, I want to, if anybody's ever used this kind of stuff, let me know. I like it to a point, but mid wax to me still is pretty good. Or a general finish. Hey everybody, how you doing? I'm doing okay. Hope you guys subscribe to me so you'll get everything when I come on. And I'm just showing you a quick update on that one piece I was working on. So, okay, so wanted to show you the difference here a little bit. Okay, so this is when you're doing food safe stuff. In general, this is the stuff you should be using. I haven't used this very much is because I got this from North Carolina. It was over in Nashville. Um, anyway, so that was an experiment. I actually bought a bunch of stuff. The stuff's not cheap. Here's the thing. If you're doing something that you're selling stuff with, um, like I do, sometimes I sell this at a craft show or an art show. I sell my product. The one thing you want to be able to tell, be able to tell people because they will be using it for food, probably not, putting cereal in it and milk and all that. If you're going to put oranges and apples and stuff like that, crackers or chips, you want to make sure that you have this stuff. I use all three. This one I just started, so it's a little bit different. It's like a paste. This one I kind of like because it smells like oranges. It has an orange peel effect to it, and that's not bad. Now that has a satin finish. This is kind of a butcher block finish between the three of them, so you won't get too much of a shine out of it. But if you have spatulas or spoons that are wooden, or your butcher block that you use or your cutting board, if it's wood, take and sand it off really good. Take and clean the butcher block off real good, and then retreat it with this first, and then go back over it with this later on. See, the difference is you want to go over it and make a deep pour, um, get it inside the pores of the wood. And most butcher blocks are pretty hard, so the pores of the wood aren't as bad, like pine, as they would, or oak, as bad as they would be for pine, if you get what I'm talking about. Anyway, um, this stuff works great. I've used, like I said, I've used this. This stuff I just started doing it. This is kind of like an Odie's paste, and again, you spend a lot of money on stuff. Okay, my problem is, and I don't know if all you guys out there do this, is if you want to make your own finish, the problem you have is you have to buy this, this, and this, and by the time you're through, you got 3 ingredients, and how much you willing to spend for an ingredient to make a finish. I bought, let's see, I want to see, indentured alcohol. I bought shellac and what was the other one? Something else. And it cost me like 60, $70. Actually, it was more than that. I mean, I think the indentured alcohol was like 25. I mean, come on. So, yeah, and I know a lot of people like to do this, would be to come up with something natural that isn't going to cost you a fortune. Like, I would love it. This stuff is really good, really good. I would love it if I can find somebody that does stuff that's the natural finish, it's a satin finish, that isn't going to cost you an arm and a leg. Everything you buy nowadays, if the general fish is 30, $35 for a quart, so this is probably one of my go-to things. When I go to a show, I usually take this or this. I had little bottles of these, and I ran out when I was doing a show. That's still a long ways away, so. But the other thing is, too, okay, so now this is some of the stuff I made in the past. And I had shellac, boiled linseed oil, and an indentured alcohol. By the time I add up all that stuff, it's 1 part to 1 part to 1 part, right? That's how much I got left. And it's okay. That's where I save the glass jars for this stuff. Now this is Minwax, but I want to show you something. Okay, so this is the reason why I say something about keeping stuff like this around for a while. I tend to throw things out whether it's good or not at a year, because one of the problems you have, I can't get it off, is now there's a rubbery surface to it. All right. Now everything that's in a can that's got it might even have lead in. I don't know. It's gonna do this. Now the reason it's in this jar is the can was such a mess. I couldn't get the lid closed. That's the reason why I like glass jars, because all I have to do is just tap it a couple of times and it comes loose. It's easier to get, and it spills inside, not outside, in that rim. You know what I'm talking about? Okay, so there's pros and cons about stuff. If you're like me, well, I let a lot of other guys, they have a lot more crap in there and it's a fire hazard. And to me, also, when that stuff doesn't last very long, uh, you're almost to the point where getting water-based stuff is better than oil-based. And I swear I've had water-based stuff. I actually like it. Um, I forget the name of the company that makes that. I think it's anyway. It comes down to the oil-based stuff will set up like this, and then you got hundreds of dollars that you got to throw away every year because it just does that. Now, I don't know about anybody else on here. If you've got a remedy for having this stuff do, you know, let me know, let the rest of us know what's a good way of doing it. Because, man, it doesn't work. This again, same thing. You got to buy hundreds of dollars worth of stuff to make one batch. How much are you going to sell your product for? See? So, cheapest way and the easiest way is this or these two. And this right here is not good. I mean, it's good use. I like it, but it's like general finish. This costs like $30, $35 to get. There's one other one I got. Okay, so this is what I was talking about, my lens. Now I used to use this all the time, and it's okay to a point, but the problem is depending on what type of bowl, what kind of a reveal, if it's got a lot like the one I just did, this wouldn't work on it. You have to use it on your lathe and get it at high speed. Actually, you got to get it uh, hot, kind of a melting. And if you could do it and use a cloth instead of a paper towel, yeah. But be careful because I got caught with a cloth and it ripped into this. I ended up going to the doctor and had that taken care of. Now this is Odie's, and this Osmo is kind of like Odie's. Same thing. Uh, can't get it open. It's a paste. Some guys said they take a spoonful or so out, maybe heat it up or something, and then use it, and then turn it into liquid, and then use it. But I would rather not do that. It's the same way you put a little on and you get it going, but it takes a lot. Again, this is expensive. So when you're going down the line, these three here are expensive. And I'd say this is expensive too when you go to all the parts you got to buy. I mean, I've got gallons of stuff in my paint container, and it's not you don't want to spend the money on it. For a lot of those people that are out in the states or looks like you're in England, UK. Hi everybody in Europe and UK and everybody else. Glad to see you. Now, don't if you haven't subscribed, subscribe. I'll let you know when I'm on. So, anyway, I know people in Europe can't get the same stuff that we do. Because I've been there. I know people that are woodworkers, and it's difficult to get finishes. And I think what they have there is much more efficient than what we have. I actually think um, for the amount of money we spend on some of these finishes, it's ridiculous. And you're better off getting stuff that comes from Europe than you are in the United States, unfortunately. Now, there's so many different kinds of finishes out there. It depends on how much money you want to spend. You can have an arm and you can have two arms and a leg. I mean, and if you're making stuff, you have to put it to cost on whatever you're making. If I'm making a bowl, I mean, right now the selling price is between 25 and $50. With stuff like this, You got you know, I mean, like this has already got 30, 35 bucks into it, plus the wood, plus your labor. You know, you better be selling the thing for like at least 60 bucks. So that's what people don't understand. Um, and it does take time. You know, after I usually finish something on an average bowl, it's usually an hour here, an hour there. I probably just in finish time, probably 5 or 6 hours, maybe up to 10 hours, depending what it is, just finishing. So you got questions? I'm going to get off here in a minute, so I just wanted to let you guys know about this. If you got questions or comments, please feel free to leave them. Um, if you want to, if you're a woodworker, you want to come on with me, I can get you in StreamYard, and we can do a side by side and talk. And I love getting new people on and talking to them and see what they do. My goal in the future is to try and do a like a craft thing. Whether you're a crafter that does scroll saw work or just painting or in this case crocheting. I know a lot of people that do crocheting. John and JoJo and Connie and Michelle and Jessica. I forget. There's this other group that I know, and the other thing is too. My friend Kilroy, who does laser stuff, which is really nice. The stuff he's making is amazing. Kilroy's into this. He's got this spaceship thing that he's making. It's just it's amazing what you could do with a laser. But and I have one too, but I only use it for doing initially in the back of bowls. I've got to get more into that. But with all the stuff I have in here, I've got the scroll saw. Now I got the joiner. I haven't even used this yet because I got this for Christmas present. But um, again, I appreciate all you guys that are watching me, and uh, hopefully in 2025 I can make you guys want to do some woodworking if you haven't done it. You know, especially turning. I'm big in it. If you want to, my Turners Club is the Windy City Turners. It's in Naperville. If you're into and want to learn about it, they have a website too, and they have a YouTube channel, so you can check out the WindyCityTurners.com, and you can check out me. I'll teach you guys. I'll show you how to do it. I love showing people and teaching people, and I don't charge anything other than maybe a headache listening to it. Anyway, I'm going to let you guys go. You guys have a great day and great weekend, and hopefully you guys are staying warm because I'm not. God bless. Remember, be creative, make some sawdust, and most of all, have fun.